Tamara, Wendy, Aaron, and anyone else who's listening to this. This is where we've got to talk about the lies, because these are the most important lies. When I came into your chat, Tamara, after knowing of you and being an acquaintance of yours for about 3 or 4 years, you said what a shame it was that Aaron and I weren't getting along because you liked us both. And I told you that out of respect for your chat, as long as he didn't address me in any way, I would do the same. Not address him, not cause any problems within your chat. And immediately he started on me. He started calling me Calzette instead of Cosette. You asked me what had happened, and I told you that Aaron shared my full legal name with pedophiles, kidnappers, and other ex-cons that he associates with. And I believe that I'm not the first woman that he's done this to, nor will I be the last if someone doesn't take notice. When I told you that, you told me that even though you've really even known Aaron very little over the last couple of years, and only recently in a regular friendly way, because of this widow named Wendy, who's not you. You spent 2.5 hours caterwauling that Wendy lady isn't you. And therefore, everyone who says that is a liar and wrong. It seems to me like you are Wendy. I have it on the highest authority that yes, you are Wendy. You can deny it all you like. We address that further ahead in the video. Right now we're going to talk about some dark things. We're going to talk about Aaron giving my information to sex offenders, kidnappers, and general ex-con, men who have done some of the most horrible things you can imagine. And Aaron, as their friend, is the guy who spent days going around YouTube talking smack about the victim, bringing her down. Oh yeah, she's a 16-year-old heroin addict. What kind of person talks about a child in that way? Aaron Victor Cox talks about a child in that way. And he does it for his buddy Beware Mouse. And if you don't know who Beware Mouse is, just type in Rex Allen Fredrickson assaulted her sexually 3 times in his home with other people there. Her statement is available, and the story that Aaron Cox has woven is ridiculous. It's full of lies, just like him. The fact that Aaron Victor Cox is giving women's legal name and possibly their location and more information than that to these pedophiles, kidnappers, and ex-cons shows me that Aaron is dangerous. But I told Tamara, like I've told others, that I'm dealing with Aaron on my own, and I'm not going to drag down her chat because of it. I just don't want him to address me in any way. Like I said, he was watching and he decided he was not gonna listen. He called me names. He called me a liar. He told me I don't have proof. He told me the police were gonna laugh at me. He told me that the police were gonna arrest me. He is absolutely insane, and I believe him to be dangerous. Tamara wanted to tell me that he's a great guy and I don't have to worry about him because he's military. I reminded her that Jeffrey Dahmer was a military veteran. So just because one guy does a good thing one day and a very bad thing another, it doesn't mean he's incapable of doing the bad thing. That's what Tamara went on and on about. I told her I didn't want to discuss it. She started off by saying there's no possible way. Aaron can never do that. She knows him. Then she was talking about her psychic powers knew that he could never do that. She's never talked to women who claim that they've had a less than pleasant experience with Aaron Victor Cox. She hasn't gone through any of the information out there about him. She's just telling me he's good, and now she's telling me that I'm a liar. During the conversation I had with Tamara through the chat while she was running her mouth, she said that Aaron had brought my most recent video, which is going to be a series of videos about him and the things that he's done. I haven't gotten to the point yet where I show the proof of him giving my information to this network of scum I've mentioned repeatedly. But apparently Tamara has seen my video. Aaron brought it to her and they watched it together. I don't know. I would assume that Aaron also gave his lies. But you're not going to be able to lie much longer, Aaron. I've got the proof coming soon. And this time, you're not going to have to wait very long. Aaron Cox also wanted me to come on a panel on his live stream so we can bury the hatchet. Who, in God's name, would ever speak to someone who turned over their personal information to a network of degenerate pedophiles? Before we move on to any more of the lies that Tamara / Wendy has said about me, I wanted to have a little intermission to talk about the live stream I witnessed. During this stream, she was freaking out in the beginning about NSC Lady but she didn't even know how to address her, what to call her. She couldn't even make out her channel or her real name or any other kind of reference because she's too dumb. But yet she's got a problem with her. Let me tell you something, Tamara, Wendy. You're gonna have to wake up and eat your Wheaties if you're gonna talk smack about an SC lady. I don't think you know who she is, and I don't think you want to mess with her at all. I'll just leave that there. You also did something that I haven't seen, something so disgusting, or heard something so disgusting in reality in ages. You farted and dedicated it to NSC lady, I believe. You are disgusting. You burped throughout your live stream. You made it to where it was not only noticeable, but you wanted people to hear it. You're disgusting. And then you started to tell me that there's no way Aaron could have done what he did to me. Even though I told you, just keep an open mind and I will prove it. Because to you, Aaron is a military guy who is willing to do anything for you. Well, he's tried that gig on quite a lot of other women. And those women weren't exactly told the truth by Aaron Victor Cox. You should beware, lady. You should listen, lady. You should listen to other women, lady. And I use the word lady loosely. Tamara, I'm just gonna start calling you Wendy from now on. Okay, Wendy, it seems like you had an awful lot invested in Aaron Victor Cox. And I wondered why. Why would you be backing this guy who backs sex offenders? And I found out it's not the first time you back sex offenders. And we're gonna get to that later on in the video. But first, we've got some more stuff to deal with. My video on Aaron will be out in the next few days, showing him giving my information to Beware Mouse and his network of creeps. And you can watch it if you want. You can refuse to watch it. I don't think Aaron's gonna run to you with this video. Let's just say that. Or you can stick it where the sun don't shine. I really don't care. But now we've got some other lies to deal with. We've got the lie where you said that my niece and nephew, both minors, my nephew severely disabled, were never doxxed. Girl, you must be stupid. And yet you are calling me a liar when I say this happened. You better hold on to your little liar game here, lady. I'm not gonna show the proof of them getting doxxed, because then what would I be doing? I'd be doxing them, you idiot. So While I'm not going to dox my niece and nephew, I'm not going to dox my minor niece and nephew just to prove that I'm not a liar. But I will show you enough that you will know that they were doxed. And the people who witnessed it can also tell you, but you don't listen to anyone, do you, Wendy? One last thing, Wendy. I've watched this merry-go-round of hate that you've been involved in for years now. And while I stayed out of it on purpose and didn't go after or believe one person over another because, frankly, I didn't want to get involved. I will say this, though. Brenda has not been a loudmouth. Brenda has not been running her trap for years that I can recall. You have, Wendy. You have been the one running your trap. Maybe if you stopped doing that, all this stuff would stop happening to you. That's just my advice. You can take it or leave it. But if I had to be in a boat with you or Brenda, I'd pick Brenda every time. This is on a personal note, Wendy. You ran your mouth about OJM number 6 when you don't know anything about the situation with OJM number 6. You heard it from other people, not him. You didn't listen. You didn't care to listen. You just wanted to formulate a story as wild and as stupid as you are. And you wanted to stick with that story afterwards. And then you turned it over on its head. And then you turned it over again, based on what it could do for you, Wendy. Not what really happened, not what the truth was, but what it could do for you. And then when you got mad at me, and you know that I love and care for OJM number 6, you said, now I'm gonna take down some of my videos and put up some of my other videos. You're ridiculous, lady. You sculpt the truth to go with your opinions, and your opinions are ridiculous, and they change moment to moment, just like your mood swings or your manic depression. I don't know what it is. I'm not a doctor, but you've got a problem, lady. Here's a good example of a problem of yours. One we talked about earlier on. Who is this guy, Wendy? Oh yeah, you know him. His name's Mark Cruz. And he's one of those really disgusting ex-cons. The kind that the ex-cons hate. The kind that the current cons hate. You are a supporter of this guy. No wonder you would be willing to just slide right in with Aaron Cox. And that's that. Then we want to go into who's Wendy, who's Tamara. Well, I've got a dox on Wendy, and there's a picture. It's shown on the left there, and I've put it with some pictures of you on the right hand side. It looks very similar to me. I think it's a younger version of you. Same fat lips, same fat cheeks, same brown eyes, same eyebrows. I mean, your current eyebrows are a little lighter, but that happens to women. A little thinner. That happens to women as they age, as you have. So I think that you are Wendy. And from now on, I'm going to call you Wendy. I've got your docs, Tamara. And I've got your docs, Wendy. And it seems to me like you're Wendy. So I'm calling you Wendy, and I think others should investigate.
And just so you know exactly where my intentions lie with this situation, he's made some horrible allegations. He showed pictures of, played audio of my disabled nephew, my disabled 9-year-old nephew. And yeah, I'm serious. It's a big, ugly, long story.
I think I'm gonna show your YouTube channel where they kids and shit. I don't care. They're fucking ugly kids anyway. They really are. Whatever. Yeah. So, really, I don't care. Fuck her kids. Yep, threatening. That's it. I'm gonna be a doggy fuck right now. Shut up! Now! The fuck up. Shit! I'm not gonna run the surprise. I want you to see this one. I don't give a fuck about this. Let's see if it's not gonna care. I don't care. They're fucking ugly kids anyway. They really are. American family.
You heard that? No. I don't want anybody to see it who hasn't seen it because it is so horrible. It hurt me primarily. Yeah, and it hurt me because I hear my 9-year-old disabled nephew. He talked about them ugly, fuck those ugly kids, things like that.
I think I'm gonna show your YouTube channel where they kids and shit. I don't care. They're fucking ugly kids anyway. They really are. Whatever. I don't give a fuck about this. Let's see if it's not gonna care. I don't care. They're fucking ugly kids anyway. They really are. American family. So, fuck her kids. Okay? Really, I don't care. Fuck her kids. Yep, threatening, that's it. I'm gonna be a doggy fuck right now. Shut up! Now! The fuck up.
I had a hit with. He plays audio of my nephew when he was like 4 years old in the background, can't even talk yet because he's so disabled. This guy is a motherfucker. He put his picture up and he put his voice up.
Okay, Wendy, that's all you get. I'm not addressing anymore. about whether or not my minor niece and nephew were doxxed. I don't need to prove it to you beyond what I've shown you. And if you need further help, why don't you go contact that bitch hog, Renee Lynn Bellavance, and her little buddy Heather Cockstan. You know the one, and I know her full name too. You better believe it. I've got doxes on all you bitches, so you better beware. I don't dox people. I'm a person who was doxed. But I make sure that I know who is out there now and what type of people I associate with. And I don't associate with scum like you, Wendy. So don't ever speak to me. We are no longer acquaintances. We are enemies. And from this day forward, we will always be enemies. So go fuck yourself, you nasty old lady.